Good morning, everyone. My name is Teacher Filate. I'm a graphic designer. As you all know, it's a normal thing to always come here and to meet ourselves. Some people have not even met before. But thank God for K section. And it's good to have everyone here. Once again, we are all welcome. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you. Please go on.
You're all doing well. And this morning we'll be talking about layout and composition in design. First and foremost, before we actually come to put things together, before we can put things together, we'll first of all think about what we lay together to compose and making sense, then along to present for people so that they can understand very well. Firstly, layout can be play a very vital role in design. They are the building blocks of design. They give your work structures and make it easier to navigate from the margin on the side to the content in between. Actually, from there, what I mean is, if you are trying to put things together, you need to let people understand what you are trying to lay or what you are trying to compose. For me to see a chair on the floor, it's easy for me to say, okay, that chair is on the floor. Depends on how I lay it. It doesn't matter if you are working with text, image, or element in design. Without a well-composed layout, your work would basically fall apart. So it depends on whatever you are working with or how you are showing it to people to understand whatever you are composing. What is composition? The term composition can be said to be putting things together. Composition can be said to be the way and structure your content are arranged. Like I said, putting a chair on the floor depends on how you put it so people can understand this chair is a chair for sitting. General component of an image, composition and designs. And basically in designs and in everything we do, firstly, before we lay them together, we talk about the backgrounds, we talk about the subject, we talk about the elements, we talk about the text, that's typography. So, and for the background, we talk about how it can be a color, can be a texture, it can be outdoor in or indoor image, etc. The subject can be a person, an image of a product, or anything. The element layout elements like decorative symbols and typography. So in this general composition of an image, it means what are you trying to show people precisely? Are you trying to bring out the text to be the main capture? Or are you trying to bring out the color to be the main capture? In the object, are you trying to bring the image as a person or as a product to be the main capture of your layout or your designs? In an element, are you trying to bring something to decorate it, maybe like a symbol or maybe like an icon to bring the main capture of that design? Same thing goes to typography. What is layout? Layout is the alignment of visual elements on a design. So whatever we can see in a design becomes our layout. Okay, now I have food now, maybe a food seller, the way they actually compose their lane of their selling of food, the way they sell it to your plate. You know, a Yoruba woman now, the first thing they put, and they actually put the rice, and they make sure that they put the meat in the middle. When it comes to Yoruba buka joints, they put the meat in the middle of the rice so that you can see that you have your meat in your food. That is a laying visual element of you laying something to compose for people to see very quickly. Layout style recognized by designers. There are basically two traditional layouts recognized by designers. They are symmetric and asymmetric. To my own understanding, I compose the symmetrical designs. Uh, the symmetrical designs are the designs that you centralize. Like I said, that Buka joint, the way she sells her food, she wanted to see the meat quickly so that before you come, tell me that where's my meat? She want to put it as the focal point. You make something to be a focal point, which is symmetrical is a design that comes with a centralized arrangement. You centralize all your content to be in the middle instead of putting it at one side or the other side. So it's just one-sided, then one centralized design. Then the asymmetrical designs are designs that you compose to be at the one side and at the other side. In asymmetrical designs, you we don't arrange the design to be in the center, but we arrange the design so that it can be one will be at the left and one will be at the right side, so that people can be able to know wherever you are going. If you are, let me say, okay, if you go to a wedding ceremony now, the way they compose and their food, maybe the vendor, the way they actually serve your food, they put your rice at the other side, they put your meat, they put your plantain, the way they arrange the food on the plate. It shows that these are asymmetrical arrangements. Okay, I'm going to show you an image now. These are examples of symmetrical when it comes to composition. The way these designs are being composed is symmetrical because it's centralized. It's just one in the middle side of the page. This is a magazine of a timeline that says time. There is a cap of the image. There is a leg. There is a human putting on a cap, or the cap is covering the man. The hand of the cowboy, diplomacy, which is everything is actually aligned in the center. So it gives it a centralized design, a centralized composition. If you look at this Titanic flyer too, the magazine says the image, the text, the shape, um, the colors, they are the background, they are all centralized in the middle. We have a focal point in the design. So in this set of designs, so the focal point goes will take your attention to the middle. We have the text itself. The text is coming out as a focal point. The image is coming out as a focal point, and the small text is actually coming out as a focal point too. But the main focal point is the image at the middle, because it wants you to get the attention from the middle. Just the first thing you see when you see this image, you just go straight to the cowboy cap. Same thing as the Titanic. You see the image and the shape. You get your focal point when it comes to the symmetrical designs. And this is a sample of an asymmetrical designs. Like I said, is a one-sided composition layout. Is that you put your image at the left or at the right, or you put your text at the other side. The focal point mainly will speak out when you lay them together. Depends on how you are creating your, even in our application, mobile app, your website. I will put them together for people to quickly see we are trying to put. So in this arithmetical designs, we have the image at the other side, and we have the text at the other side. Also, we have another text down at the center of the magazine. So this shows that they're trying to show us different things at the focal point. Then the other one that says the animation flyer was actually is that another catching point, focal point from this animation, which is also we have the text too, which is actually catching our point, which are the focal layout of this design. So if you see a design, so if you see a design like this, you quickly know that okay, these are asymmetrical designs. They are one-sided, and composition. Then the other one, which is a symmetrical and centralized composition. The principles of layout and composition. The first thing you do before you could decide that you want to compose or lay your designs. Whichever thing I will do in life, we think of something first. We think of how we'll do it, how we're going to put them together, how we plan to bring them and to form something so that people could be able to understand what we're trying to show. Like from this, I was showing so many proximity, I was showing white space, I was showing alignment, I was showing contrast, I was showing repetition, I was showing point and scales in this design. So we'll know, okay, from here, this asymmetry, we have a focal point, we have the proximity. Look at the red background, you know, it's bringing out the proximity of the color. You see the text color, there's proximity in them. You look at the white space, it's being used properly, that the texts are actually being composed so that we'll see wherever we are meant to see. If we send this kind of flyer to production to print, because of the white space that is there, so everything is properly composed. So for a printer to print something like this, it will not be, there won't be an error for the printer to cut out whatever you are trying to show. Even if it was going to cut out anything, you make sure that the text has been properly. That is the white space I actually use from this magazine. So the alignment too, which I said is a centralized portion of the design, where we are trying to show that okay, everything we want it to be here is a symmetrical design. So everything is being centralized perfectly for you to understand that oh, this is a center, is a symmetrical design. The contrast. The contrast, yes, too. You make sure that the colors are being organized and being well used. The red color as a main background, which is backing the white background, is backing all the old image, the text, the image, the type, the text of the design. Talking about the repetition. The repetition in this flyer is still the alignment. You put everything to be in the center, in the middle part of the flyer. So it becomes the repetition of even the white background is still in the middle of the red background. So everything becomes repetition. You have the focal point. So the focal point can be the image, can be the text, the time big text, can be the hand of the cowboy diplomacy. So we have a focal point in this design. So once you see, you know that this person is talking about cowboy. If you look at the text, it's talking about cowboy. If you look at the image, it's talking about cowboy. So when you look at the time, like so it's talking about the names of a cowboy. So these are the principles we need to understand when it comes to layout and composition in design. And proximity is all about using visual space to show relationship in your content. For example, bringing related items and making sure they are well grouped together. Groups that are not related to each other should be separated by end to visual emphasize. The lack of relationship, thereby making your work easy to understand at a glance. I've actually explained this in the magazine that I actually showed you. So I'm still going to show you some examples of proximity. So this is another proximity in design. What are you trying to show? What are you trying to let us know that okay, this is what you are designing? This is a proximity in a complementary card. So we have some symbols, we have the text, we have the small text. So this is a well composed layout of a design. So we want us to understand that, okay, these are icons. What are these icons? Once you see these icons, you understand that, okay, these icons mean something in this complementary card. So if you look at the other book, you see the proximity in them. You see the old-fashioned stock scale and short cake. You quickly know that, okay, this is a tab. It's a tab, and it's talking about old-fashioned short cake. People that does that things that you wanted to see in the light of text. Depends on how you make use of the text and how you want people to understand, okay, this is what you are talking about. That is the proximity in this complementary card. Talking about the white space too, look at this place. There is a white space being used properly. Everything is being organized so that you can see, okay, there are spaces for, okay, you have the name, you have the icons, you have the small text. It's been organized and arranged properly and separately for you to see easily. White space helps you define and separate different sections. It gives your content room to breathe. If your work ever starts to feel cluttered or uncontrollable or comfortable, the little white space might just be what you need to keep it balanced and comfortable. There's a design of a white space here. This is a tag. This is a table tag which speak about what we do, how the white space are being used, the text, the icons, and the small text. If you look at the other one, it's actually not arranged properly because it was being squeezed together. But the first one, which is a good one, was properly arranged for you to differentiate the white space from the text. Talking about the alignment. Alignment is very vital in your design. It makes your work look neat and simple to the eyes. Aligning elements is a quick and easy way to transfer your design from shabby to cheeky. Okay, look at these alignments. Depends on how you want to. Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Peter. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay.
Your time is almost done, so just can summarize and take your question, please.
All right. Okay, I've actually talked about these alignments, and let me quickly give you a contrast. I was going to give you this contrast, and which says contrast simply means that one item is different from another. Let me show you this image of the contrast. We have a contrast of this flower and look at the water where the flower is actually laying. There's the difference because the water is also bringing another image of that flower, which brings out the contrast. It's a catchy image that we could begin to understand that, okay, this is what this image is talking about. In a nutshell, layout and composition plays vital roles in your designs. They are the building blocks of designs. Layout and composition makes your works look neat and balance your work. Apply all your principles in your design: proximity, white space, alignment, contrast, repetition, focal points, and scales. You can create beautiful and professional looking design. Yeah, that's the end of. So yeah, I was unable to present everything, but from the beginning, I've explained the little I can. Thank you. So if you have any question, yeah, free to ask.
Or I can ask one or two questions so that the next speaker will come up. Okay, Mr. Pitaka.
Yeah.
Thank you for your presentation. Mr. Leonard, are you ready for us? Mr. Leonard?
Through the app, you can
Mr. Leonard?
book for an appointment with a doctor.
Mr. Leonard.
Hello, Jacob.
Are you ready? You can share your screen so that Peter will stop sharing.
I'm
Can
not. I'm not Leonard. I'm not
Who is
Leonard.
speaking?
It's Matthew.
Please, I want to hear from Leonard first, please. Or you have any information in regards to Leonard?
Yes, he's having a presentation today. I don't know. Like he's the one that is going to present by 2 o'clock. I don't know if that's what he's busy. I don't know. That's what that's the only information I have about him.
Okay, not that he gave you an information in regards to this.
No.
All right, don't worry. I've spoken with him this morning, so he told me that he's ready.
All right. But did you get my message, please?
I got your message.
All right.
I know the PHP meetup, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm aware of it. I saw it. Thank you. So, Leonard, are you present, by the way?
Leonard is not on the call.
He has gone out. I saw him on this call. He has gone out. All right, Mr. Peter Khan. Thank you. You can evaluate your class and interact.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ask them 5 questions. Your presentation was interesting, and design is always interesting.
Since it's not here, so let me just.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, I was supposed to talk about the focal point too. So you can still ask questions. So
You can just evaluate and interact.
sorry. From what we actually talked so far. So if you have any questions, you can say. But I just want to big up this one before I go. Okay, the focal point and scales. The focal point and scales is the first thing to consider in your layout and composition. So if you are, like I said, that food seller, there's a way she composes her food so that you can see that meat that she wanted to see first. So even at the party, the way they arrange that food, so that you're able to I want to do something like this. In fact, from your house, you'll be composing, this is the food I want to eat at the party. It likes drawing an attention of your viewers and retain their attention in your design. It is also important to communicate the most crucial information in your focal point and scale. It starts out in your design. Focal point can be image, graphics, or even typography. So in this design here, I just want someone to just tell us what is this first flyer? What is it talking about? This first flyer, so it's speaking about something. What is it talking about?
Okay, the first one is talking about wines and food, but from the design itself, I can actually make out bottles of wine and then a sort of fork. So it's just explaining 2 things in one.
Okay. So in a general word for it, what's it talking about?
Generally, it's talking about eatery. Can be an eatery, a restaurant, a winery.
That's fine. And the other one, I want another person. The other one.
Another one with show with cheek, something with eyes and
picture of the cake. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. The first one, if you can see very well, the fork. They actually came out with the fork to bring out the shapes of the bottle of wines. So it's actually tally with food. It comes with vendors for events. Then the other ones too brings out shape of a cake to tell us that okay, this is a cake shop, a baking shop. So we have a focal point in this design, which is the image. We have a focal point of a text too. So after the image, you see the text, you go back to the text before you say, okay, you want to go back to the color. And so it's actually the focal point that this design is showing here. Repetition is actually advised in design. So like if we can all go back to most of Bincom designs, we'll notice in repeating of our designs. So you see that okay, most of the designs I will do, we'll see this one, someone looking the same thing. I will go outside, we'll see some designs that they are looking, we say, this design is looking fine. Why are we not doing this one? Why is that? By the time we try to go back to, or we try to change designs, and people don't know, okay, these are the people. Okay, once people see our designs, what they say, okay, they know that okay, these are Bincoms. These are Bincom designs. So it's good in repeating most of our designs whenever we are trying to compose. Even most of our applications, the way they actually compose them, mobile applications and all of our applications. So when it comes to applications, you see that there are repetition in most of them. You see most of our drinks, Coca-Cola, Biggie, Fanta, Bicola, whichever drinks, or they have the way they copy themselves. There's what we call copywriter. So some of them they copy content from themselves and they begin to use them. You see most of our beers, lager beer, Gouda, you see repetition in most of their adverts. So almost the same thing they all do. So when it comes to composition, it's advised to repeat something that you've done before, or you see something someone have done and try to pick from them and repeat it too. So repetition is a reminder that every project should have a consistent look and feel. This means finding a way to reinforce your design by repeating or echoing certain elements. Being consistent can also make your work easier to read. For example, if you are choosing a special hairstyle, use it every time in your work. As an hairstylist, so it's good to stick to that shuku and let people know that you are a shuku-based person. I think that is the end of the slide now. If you have the questions, so we can still ask. But I'm going to be asking questions from some of you, if you don't mind. So if you have a question, I'll be asking some questions too. Okay. Who can tell me what repetition means in design? Repetition.
Yes, repetition is a way of always being kind of consistent when you are trying to show people what you're offering. Then you have a brand. Then instead of you always changing particular design, you let people know that this is what you offer. So in case anywhere they can easily identify that this belongs to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. That is when you come to Bingo, you see everything is green. So you see everything is green and red and white. Okay, thank you. There, there are list of basic principles in composition and layout. We can just tell us the first five, the principles, the basic principles in design. What are the things you need to take first before you consider you want to design? Anybody?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Yeah. What are the basic principles in design? The first thing you need to think first before you start the design.
You need to think of what you want to achieve.
No, I actually list them from the list. So that was, I just gave you as an example, like what are the first thing you do?
Your layout.
Your layout. There are 5 basic principles in design that you need to think of first.
Okay, for me, I would say contrast, repetition, I think pattern, white space.
Yeah. Okay, you got 3, have you? You got contrast, white space.
Yeah, and to add to what we said, alignment.
Yeah. Alignment, thank you.
And alignments.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and proximity. Okay, we talked about two composition in designing. What are the 2 composition in design?
Symmetrical and asymmetrical.
Thank you. Okay, who was that?
It's me.
Okay, go and collect when you finish. Okay, the symmetrical is the first one. So what do we understand by the symmetrical? Okay, then let me say what do we understand. How do we think a symmetrical design should be? Should always be when it comes to composition. It's symmetrical.
It should be centralized at the focal point.
That's fine. What about the asymmetrical? Another person.
I think I go for hello.
Yeah, can you?
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Hello. Good.
Are you there? Hello? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, the asymmetrical. Someone is talking about the asymmetrical. Okay,
Asymmetrical is left and right design.
left hand. It's okay. We have these 2 images. Which one is the symmetrical? Which one is the asymmetrical? Look at this focal point image.
The asymmetrical.
Yeah.
Because it's center.
Which one is the asymmetrical here? These 2 images are there.
The fork is asymmetrical. Where the cake is centralized is symmetrical.
So which categories are you going to put these 2 images to? Symmetrical or asymmetrical? Or they are both?
Both are symmetrical. Both are symmetrical. They are centralized.
Okay. This image, what is it speaking about? The proximity in this medical here, what is it speaking about? I'm just talking about how it was being outlined. So there is a particular thing it's talking about when it comes to the basic principles of design. So it's speaking about one thing. What is it speaking about?
I don't get the layout too.
Huh? Okay, it's talking about the white space. So how the white space is being properly arranged for people to understand that one thing has to be one thing has to come out as standing in every background instead of choking them together for nobody to understand, okay, this one needs to be here and this one needs to be there. Okay, if you have any questions, so you can still take your time to ask the question.
Hello, Mr. Jacob, should I begin my presentation?
Yeah, how's the network? The network just went. Okay, this guy is here.
Let me start.
You're not.
Yes.
There's no longer time.
Don't worry, I'll make it as short as possible.
We have just 2 minutes left.
So I shouldn't present again.
We'll explain why you came late the first time.
No, I came early I was having network issues. I was getting logged out. I came early for the presentation. Sorry?
I'm sorry to hear that.
So are we done?
Yeah, on everyone. So I guess COVID is an issue. The talk it's time we leave already. It's 9:40. So thank you everyone for attending the session. Leonard, you have to allies with Jacob in order to be good. Okay, and next time when you know you present, ensure you have a good network. Okay, and get set next time to be a demerit automatically. You really have a great one. Okay, everyone. I wish you all a good weekend and happy Friday. Bye.